of which I shall tell you. Very terrible thing happened to him. After so many years waiting, and the boy became a little teenage, quite strong. He could carry luggage with his dad, is mentioned there. So God says, I want him as a sacrifice. Okay? Now, I'll come to the point which I'm saying. I'm not putting all things together, okay? Just a few points. Then Abraham, with all the pain in his heart, faithfully gets up early in the morning and take all the tools necessary to offer the sacrifice, the knife, the fire, etc. And he goes all the way to where God told him go. Okay? And then he left the servant behind and took his son and went to the Mount of Moriah where God has told him. And then something very interesting takes place. Very, very profound statement takes place here. There. I'll take shortcut. So, but Isaac spoke to Abraham, his father, and said, my father. And he said, here I am, my son. And he said, look, the fire and the wood. But where is the lamb for a burnt offering? The son said, we got fire around, we got wood, and me and you alone going up the mountain. Where is that? Usually they offer a goat or a lamb. Where is that lamb? Huh? And now see what happens here. And Abraham said, my son, God will provide for himself the lamb for a burnt offering. And the two of them went together. It's a very profound statement. Abraham spoke by faith. He said, God will provide for himself an offering. See? He didn't say God will provide a sacrifice. He said God will provide for himself an offering. Now, if you read the books of the Christians in the New Testament, that is the second half of the Bible, the authors, they expand on this point. And they said, Abraham spoke by faith. When he spoke to Isaac, he was thinking that God will raise him back from the dead when he spoke to Isaac. That's how he spoke. Something like this happened, but not exactly rose him from the dead. And then they went up, and then they came to the place which God has told them. And Abraham built the altar there and placed the wood in order and bound Isaac, his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. Notice that his son didn't run away. He allowed his father to tie him up, although he was a big boy at that time. He could run away. Okay? And then what happened? And Abraham stretched out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, here I am. And he said, do not lay your hand on the lad or do anything to him. For now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me. Then Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and there behind him was a ram caught in the thickets by its horn. So Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up for a burnt offering instead of his son. And Abraham called that name of that place, the Lord will provide, as it is said to this day, in the mount of the Lord it shall be provided. See, summary of that very big drama is this. Is Abraham went up and then he told God will provide for himself a lamb. God is demanding a sacrifice. See, I'm putting my own words in between. I'm just paraphrasing. God demanding a sacrifice. There is a need for a sacrifice. God wants a sacrifice. But where is the lamb, the sacrifice? God will provide for himself the lamb. That's what happened. And that's what happened. God spared Isaac. God spared Isaac. God was not even thinking of killing Isaac, the Bible somewhere else says. He was just testing Abraham. God not in the business of killing children like that. God, he gave him Isaac as a gift. He wouldn't just take it like that from him. Okay? And then God, through miraculous act, he stopped him at the last minute through an angel of God in a very critical point in his life. And he gave him some other thing to be sacrificed. Not Isaac.